Can one person make a difference in the world? After all, they are only one person on a planet of 7.6 billion. But the reality is that one person with one creative idea can change how we all do things. Most of us have read a sci-fi book in our lives. These books tell the stories of futuristic populations with cool new gadgets. I often find myself wishing for these new technologies. In fact, I think most of us do. A lot of cool technology we have today, including bionic limbs, video calling, and tablets, were all imagined by sci-fi authors. At the time in which they were imagined, science was not advanced enough to permit their creation. But now that science has progressed, these once far-off imaginations are now a reality. Science and technology would stagnate if not for creativity and innovation to keep pushing it forward. This conclusion was really hammered home for me after I read The Time Machine by H.G. Wells and saw an episode of Genius by Stephen Hawking, Can We Time Travel? The conclusion that Genius came to was mind-blowing. We can indeed time travel, although it's not how modern sci-fi portrays it. This got me interested. So later, I found a book called Time Travel: A History by James Gleick. Gleick went about uncovering the cultural history of time travel. He traced its origins back to an author, instead of what I would have thought, a scientist. I learned that the modern concept of time travel, what we all think of, where you get in a machine and throw a lever, was imagined by H.G. Wells in a short story, The Time Machine. Wells's Time Machine did not have an easy time, though. Scientists and philosophers of his era battered his work with insults and did not take it seriously. But now that science has progressed and time has passed, we see that time travel is more achievable and not so far off after all. Genius was explaining how we could time travel in a more comprehensible manner. Stephen Hawking invited 3 guests onto his show to help illustrate this possibility. At the end of the show, after many creative experiments, the 3 guests concluded that time travel to the future is possible. One possible way to do this, they discovered, was using the forces of gravity to their advantage. If one was to go hang out around a black hole, time would pass slower there because the intense gravity stretches it. So upon return to Earth, less time would have passed for the space traveler than for everybody back here. Wells imagined this concept almost a century before he realized it could be truly possible. He inspired his generation and all of the rest to come to investigate this new means of traveling. All of us are this creative, not just the authors, artists, innovators, and inventors. We all have brilliant ideas all the time. People might just not be ready to hear them, and you might be a little bit like Wells, ahead of your time. Creativity is innate in human nature, originally used to survive, but now is a tool that is used to pave the way for progress. It has changed the world for better and for worse. One idea can change the world. So be creative, think outside of the box, and amaze us. Thank you.